Hello. In this lesson, we will be adding and subtracting polynomials. As a review, we want to be able to find the perimeter of a rectangle. We know that the perimeter is adding all the sides, and so in order to get the sides for this shape, we have to remember that we have labels for these, right? So we label x, y, always alphabetical order. So let's say we wanted to get this bottom line. We notice that this bottom line here goes the same direction as the x-axis, so we are going to subtract the x's. We're going to take that 10. We always take the bigger number, subtract the smaller number. 10 minus 1, that gives us 9 for that side. And now, to get the line that goes up and down, we notice that that is the same direction as the y-axis. Since that's the same direction as the y-axis, we are going to subtract the y values. We always do the bigger minus the smaller number. 6 minus 2 gives us 4. So we know this side is 4, which makes this side is 4. We know that the bottom side is 9, which makes the top one 9. And so when we add those 4 together, 9 plus 4 plus 9 plus 4 gives us 26 units. When you are given a perimeter and you have to find a missing side, we use subtraction. So we know that it's going to be perimeter. We're going to subtract out the two sides. The perimeter in this case is 50.4. And then we're going to subtract out each of those two sides. So essentially taking that away or taking this away. And so the result gives us 20.3. And you can always check your answer, right? So check 17.3 plus 12.8 plus 20.3. It should give us 50.4. We put that in the calculator and we do get 50.4. Most excellent. And now we want to find the length of the missing side with polynomials, right? So it's the same setup. We still have that perimeter minus the two sides. We just have to remember this time that those sides have to be in parentheses because there's multiple terms that need to have that negative included with it. So we have to put that invisible 1. And since that's invisible 1, that is going to be a negative 1. And so we have to distribute that negative 1 times 1, negative 1 times 2. That gives us negative 1x plus negative 2. We do the same thing with this negative 1 here, right? So those become negative 2x plus negative 3. And then we bring down that 9x plus 8, and then we combine our like terms. We combine the 9x with the negative 2x with the negative 1x. We combine the 8 with the negative 3 and the negative 2. We put those in the calculator, and we get 6x plus 3. And once again, you can always check your work by adding all the sides together. We take the first side, add it to the next side, add it to the third side we just found, and we should get 9x plus 8. And when we combine those like terms, we do. So we know that that is the correct side. So we're going to do just some more basic practice with adding expressions like this. We notice that the expressions are stuck inside of the parentheses, so in order to get them out, we have to put an invisible 1. So all the invisible 1 does when we multiply that through is it essentially takes them out of the parentheses so we can actually combine them, right? So we just basically multiply. We do 1 times 2, 1 times 5. That's just the same thing, right? We multiply all those through, and we get 7x squared plus 4x plus 3. And then the way we want to think about this, because there's a lot of exponents, right? We want to think of this in terms of quantity. So if we have 7x squared, then we literally have 7x squareds. Right? If we have 4x, we literally have 4x's. If we have 3, we literally have 3. So when we're combining like terms here, we're essentially thinking of what are the same shapes, right? So we notice like this 2, you know, those make 9. So we're going to combine the 7x squareds with the 2x squareds, and that gives us 9x squareds. And then we notice that the 4x's, the only x's there, so that's just going to stay 4x's. And then we have the 3 plus 5. Those are the like terms. That just becomes 8, and that is our final answer. So now we have to subtract them. So the only difference is that we have the subtraction in the middle, right? So when you have that subtraction in the middle, we still need to take them out of the parentheses by including that invisible 1, and we still want to distribute. So the first portion becomes all the same because it's just the positive one that you're distributing, but then this second one here, since this is a subtraction in front of that one, that changes to a negative one. It's like the most important part. And so there's -1 times 2, -1 times 5. So when you multiply those, make sure you account for those negatives, right? So that's -2x squared plus -5. And then we combine the like terms. Once again, we have 7 plus -2. That's going to give us +5. And then we have 4x with nothing to combine with that one, so that's just 4x. And then we have the 3 with the -5, and that gives us -2. And there's two ways to write your answer. All right, so once again, we're adding the polynomials. We put the invisible 1. We know with that invisible 1, we distribute. And when we have the positive one, they all just become the same. Right, so we end up with the same 6w squared plus 5w plus 4 plus 1w plus 3. And once again, when you get to this stage, you want to think of this in terms of quantities. Right, so when we're combining the 6w squared with something, we notice has nothing to combine with, so that just stays a 6w squared. We notice that we have 5w's here with 1w. That's just like these shapes over here, combining those. So we get 6 total w's. 5 plus 1 is 6. And then we do the 4 plus 3, that gives us 7, this 4, and this 3, right? And that gives us +7. Lastly, we're subtracting them now, so we put the invisible ones again. We remember to distribute, but this one becomes a negative one that we're distributing. So when you multiply these, it's going to become negative, right? We have -1 times w is -1w, -1 times 3 is -3. And when we multiply this one through, we get all the same thing. And then we combine the like terms, right? So this 6w squared has nothing to combine with, so that just stays as 6w squared. We combine this 5w with this -1w, that gives us a +4w. And then lastly, we combine the 4 with the -3, and that gives us +1. Thank you for listening.